Down. What's up, everybody? You are tuned into Season 2 of the Elks Call, presented by Shotgun Sports. My name is Scout, a.k.a. the rep from Section X.
And I'm Katherine, a.k.a. Do You Even Elks?
And today, we are having a watch party. I'm so excited.
A little bit of an unconventional format today, but...
Just a little bit, it just so happens that we have a game on at the same time. So we said, might as well make the most of it and hold a virtual watch party. So shout out to you if you are tuning in tonight. Before we go through our very small one segment schedule here, would like to thank everybody for tuning in, whether you are watching on our YouTube, which is Shotgun Sports Network, or if you are listening on iHeartRadio or on TuneIn, Edmonton Sports Talk, or any of the other podcatchers in your arsenal. Katherine, I know that because we have this game here, we know that we have one segment, and it is your herd report. What do you got for us today?
Yeah, and just before we start, we do have a question right away. Why are you two in different locations? So, I know this is weird, a little unconventional, but I thought I was going to have a power outage here, and it didn't happen, so we planned for two different locations, so that's what's happening. But we're both watching the game. But yes, before we get started, I know we have it on. They're warming up. They're getting started. So before that kicks off, let's just talk about the last game that we had real quick. If we don't get through the whole thing, we'll chat about it as we go. But I'll just keep it brief. Last week on Saturday, June 22nd, the Edmonton Elks played the Toronto Argonauts, falling 3 points behind after just the last second field goal. 39-36 was the final score. As disappointing as the end result was, this game was one to watch. It was definitely a battle. It's a little disappointing, though, that is one of those situations where even though the Elks do great, it's just not enough. We just don't make it all the way through. So at the end of the day, Bethel Thompson passed for 342 yards, and he connected 28 out of 38 passes and had 4 touchdowns, which I believe that ties his record that he had already. So the offense picked it up as well. Mm-hmm. So overall, it was a really, really good game. During the first half, it was really action-packed. I think that the whole game was action-packed, so I'll ask you your opinion on it afterwards. But MBT completed 10 out of 12 passes, and he got 2 touchdowns just in the first quarter, within the first 15 minutes, I believe. Dylan Mitchell was the favorite receiver for that first one. And, of course, Boris Beatty did his thing with those convert kicks. Right. And, and although I prefer to see MBT throw the long passes to Eugene Lewis, and I've talked about that, a short pass to the right was enough to let Lewis, to get him to a touchdown to regain the lead there on the first quarter. However, the defense started to dwindle as the game went on. And even though they held the Argos to 0 yards in the first 2 drives of the game, and they had a couple of sacks on Cameron Dukes from Elliott Brown and Noah Curtis, the Argus run game, it just could not be stopped during that second quarter. The reality is that the defense had given up offensive touchdowns, and they let the other team get into the red zone a little too much, and that's what happened. And Bethel Thompson actually suffered from 2 sacks during this quarter as well, the second quarter. And it really could be said that if it hadn't been for some of those little mistakes during this quarter, really, that the game would have ended differently. So what do you think of that for the start of that game?
Well, and I think it's also frustrating to see the lack of Kevin Brown. I think that's a bit of a theme right now, right? When you're not seeing Kevin Brown get that space, get those spaces once again, it's nice to see the offense alive and well. That's exactly what we need, but it's also the defense needs to make those stops as well. Unfortunately, like you said, the Argonauts, they came with one heck of a running game.
And they just could not be stopped. So, when we went into the second half, the third quarter was pretty evenly matched. So that was an exciting quarter to see. We had Lucic Purifoy. I'm trying so hard not to mess up his name. With his first interception of the season. And he had a long return that gave MBT a chance to take it to their end zone. So we also had Hergy Mayala getting his third touchdown of the season. He definitely is coming in hot. And of course, the Argos had their chances as well with Carey running in for a touchdown. And then the Elks failed to stop them there. However, when Cameron Dukes successfully rushed in for a 2-point conversion. One of those little things that when we're looking at a 3-point lead at the end of our final score with a field goal, what would have happened if they did not let that 2-point conversion happen, right? Just tiny minute things that just...
But they're critical moments at the same time, right? It's another one of those painful critical moment plays where it's like, guys, if we can get this stop, if you can shut down this 2-point attempt, it might change the tide a bit for that whole entire team. But instead of getting that momentum going, instead they go the other direction, right? Where even in this game, it was once again another winnable game, right? I went back and I looked at the highlights, watched as much of the game as I possibly could. Unfortunately, first one that I have missed in a very long time. But you could see where the team had it once again within their grasp, and it came down to the smallest, the finest of details. Oh, did we lose Katherine?
That's what happens when we have difficulties here. What happened?
I don't know. I was mid-sentence and I thought you left me. This is hilarious.
And then it's suddenly our names are all wrong and I'm not sure what happens. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. We can't be doing this. See, and even in the chat, we have some people. Chris and Hagar, Scout finally pissed Katherine off to that point. Take you out to your own basement.
Okay, so speaking of which, we do have the game on right now.
Yes, so on. We'll pause our conversation there because the game has started and this is going to be interesting. I'm going to be honest. I'm not entirely too sure how to do this one.
Well, Vernon Adams pass it off. Is that stand back? Number 31. Running it on a bit of a sweep. So it would be nice, like expectations. Let's talk about expectations for this game, okay?
Let's do that.
Should the Edmonton Elks win this game by, stats and all of that? We'll say historically, probably not. The Edmonton Elks struggle against the BC Lions. However, that does not mean that the Edmonton Elks can't win this game.
Mm-hmm. That's true. I mean, we've seen
almost intercepted. Almost intercepted. Sorry, number 8.
Almost intercepted. Yeah, you're going to have to do the live commentary for those who are listening outside of watching the YouTube.
Right.
So that they know a little bit more of what's happening. But yes, we do have a comment here from Chris. Score more touchdowns. Need a victory time. If there's one thing that will ensure that we win tonight is more touchdowns for sure. So we need those. I think, it's one of those that you see a lot of really good things happening with the Edmonton Elks. Mm-hmm. They've come super close with, something just happened in the game. that was incomplete.
Yeah.
So
it was almost an interception. But yeah, Edmonton Elks are now back on offense, which is nice. MBT is about to go to work.
Yes.
As
I was saying, sorry,
give it.
Watching the game and trying to make commentary and talk about it at the same time. But we have seen that they've gotten so close to not, the reigning champions, last year's champions, right? That was a close game. Toronto Argonauts, that was a winnable game.
Yeah.
In reality, if they manage to kind of fix some of those little things that we have seen over and over again, I saw it here from Ray and Benny, more Kevin Brown, if that O-line, as Chris Ager is saying over here as well in the chat, if the O-line can't make holes, right? Those couple of little things, if the O-line is making holes for Kevin Brown to run those big plays that we know that he can do,
well exactly. Got to make those holes. It is on the O-line. I mean, once again, there is other pieces to that, but the O-line does need to make the holes. The Edmonton Elks are moving the ball up. They have not moved the change yet. Second down on the drive. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that was the other thing that I think that we all need to be very, very mindful of is all the things that are bad, penalties. Those penalties. I wanted to talk about the last game. Taking returns from Javon Leak and that Dubonko penalty that just absolutely killed us. A foul after a whistle. Things that are just absolutely unnecessary. That it's things like those that become the mistakes that lead to a failure.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's those little things that could easily be, even the TEC turning point of the game. I mean, it's we see it time after time. Edmonton Elks are turning the ball over right now, 3rd and 6 at the BC 48. Unfortunately, it looks like either a receiver didn't run the right route or accuracy was off for MBT. So hard to say exactly what it was, but yeah, we will be punting this ball away. Jake Julian on the punt. But yeah, and I mean, with this game, I don't expect the Edmonton Elks to win.
Did they not punt it?
Yeah, we punted it, but guess what?
Oh, you know what? Then my feed is behind. I am watching the game on my phone, and I'm still on the wrong.
Is that TELUS Optic?
That's TELUS.
Is that TELUS Optic?
It is. It's on my TELUS TV app that clearly is behind because we'll
change channels. Go up and down a channel, and then because there's a lady in a golden dress, Bellagio. Yeah, it's a gambling ad. There's a gambling ad on. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, as far as fan expectation, I think we are really dreading that 0-4 potential that we were talking about weeks ago on the Elks call. We really didn't want to make it to this point where we may be seeing some major changes. Now, talking about major changes, the one biggest change we may see is private ownership. Apparently, as per Kevin Carius, 1440, we saw Jed Roberts sort of throw your name in the hat, Jed, but we see you out there talking about it. Could be just based on the Kevin Carius, but and then, yeah, Eddie Steele, obviously, I think he was the one that blew the whistle on that. So, yeah, it sounds like they've found their owner. Haven't really heard much for names. Yeah, I mean, I honestly haven't heard anything for names. It's just rumors. It's just rumors. I don't have a preferred ownership group. I have not seen, an ownership group in, I don't know, maybe just because of visibility. Maybe I haven't done my research. Minhas, their name was actually thrown out there. I do not believe that this would be something that they would be interested in, but who knows? Maybe they did actually approach the Edmonton Elks and tried to go in. Keep in mind, Minhas Breweries just bought the Edmonton Stingers not long ago. So, they went from breweries to one sports team. let's see how they do with that team before they try to acquire a really, really expensive Edmonton Elks.
Yeah, to be honest, I have zero clue who it may be. We hear rumors, we hear ideas, but they've been pretty tight-lipped about the whole thing, and rightfully so. I mean, this is a really big thing that should be handled privately and properly. They should take their time with it. So
there's also NDAs on everybody that's involved as well, right? So this has been very, very top secret to the point where, you know, anybody that I've talked to has no clue who the potential owner is. So we'll see what happens. I do think that in principle, the agreement has been made. They are just rumors once again, right? So I can be wrong. From what we've heard, and as per the reports, nothing has been signed. It's all but.
Yep. Oh, you're starting to slow down again. I think it might be my connection. If there's no, seriously, I don't like this. Let's never do this again. Comment here in the chat from Chris. Yikes! Not sure why you don't just go for the first down rather than big play. Coaching, right?
Well, on that play, exactly. Why are we trying to bust it wide open when, you know, all you need is a first down? Just keep the defense, keep their defense on the field, wear them down.
Keep them moving.
And it's funny that Chris mentions that because we're watching Vernon Adams right now. He's just gotten 2 first downs. I want to say, who is this? Who is this 31? Yeah, that's Stanback. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, Stanback is also using his feet, running through the defensive line, our defensive line, making it, you know, 5 to 6 yards per run here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the type of play that we need. That's the type of play the Edmonton Elks need. Get your first downs, wear them out a bit, and then there you go, near the end zone. Good defense. Yeah, and see, I don't have the volume from the TV, so I can't hear Dustin Nielsen, his lovely, sweet voice.
We do have a question by John. What's with the big cardboard signs on the sidelines?
Oh, to stop people from stealing signs or signals or playbook info or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. I know they look funny. I know
they do. Oh, bad snap! Bad snap! Edmonton Elks get the ball back at midfield. The 54. Wow. Bad snap. Gotta like a bad snap. Oh, he definitely couldn't catch that ball. Sorry. But anyways, getting back to those signs, what's funny about that is at the IFAF U20 World Championship, one of the teams was actually using it. I believe Team Austria yesterday was using the signs.
I love it.
Like, there's nobody in that vicinity, right? And even then from the other side, you need a pretty heavy set of binoculars. Pretty funny. That's all. I think it's pretty funny that even in that kind of setting where, you know, you don't have, it's not like you have fans all the way around you. It's not like you have fans up in the upper deck. You should be able to pinpoint if somebody is shooting the binoculars at you. And sure enough, they still have the signs for the opposing team, which was Team Canada as the opposing team.
I love it. I love it.
Just ridiculous.
You know, talking about the IFAF thing that is happening this weekend, that's been happening, I got to say that Brazil, just absolutely my favorite team. I know Canada, you know, took a beating to them. I call them bullies because seriously, I mean, there is no reason to go, what was it, 110-0 for the
It was 110-0. Shotgun Sports was on site. We ended up shooting that one from a lens, and yeah, 110. I will say that I captured most of the touchdowns for Team Canada on my phone. My phone battery was really hurting. I had to conserve energy really tightly there. I think I took a break from maybe the touchdowns in the third quarter and then got right back to it in the fourth quarter. And right,
Wasn't necessary though.
it wasn't necessary, but what was cool was when I was shooting Brazil afterwards and them celebrating with the fans. You know, they were so happy just to be there and so happy to get to play football on that turf. And it was a really special moment getting to capture that. You know, Team Brazil players are like doing this and everything.
I know. I was looking for the second match that they had. I believe it was against Canada too, the second team, on Wednesday, and I believe the ending was like 63 or so to 7.
Yeah.
Something like that was the final score for that particular match. And I was looking at their social media and they were calling it a historical moment because for them, for the team, Brazilian team, the U20, they have never done a conversion point. They never have had that extra point.
Yeah.
So the fact that they were celebrating so hard and saying that it was historical. Oh, there's movement. But yes, they were. It was absolutely wonderful to see that even though they just got absolutely decimated, they were still having an absolute blast. And that just shows, you know, what football is all about, right? American football, Canadian football. It's, you know, how much people love it and the players love it. So
that's exactly it, right? It's what it's all about. Horrible pass deflected. Defender, BC defender got in on McLeod Bethel-Thompson, 2nd and 10. But yeah, for the IFAF, it was really, really cool to see it. And not only that, like just so many countries all in one spot playing gridiron football. Team Japan is dominating in the IFAF right now. I am scared for Team Canada going into that Japan game. I feel so scared for Canada. I mean, I'd like to see the three-peat. Japan's got some big body boys on that team, and their coaching is great. They're a good unit. You can tell that like they're taking this extremely seriously. And same deal with Brazil, right? It's a matter of talent, coaching. You know, it's Brazil. So, and McLeod Bethel-Thompson, was that a roundhouse kick? What did he just do? He just kicked a guy in the head.
Did he? I swear to God, I'm going to turn on the TV behind me because I am behind.
Yeah, just go to the TV. That's what I'm doing. McLeod Bethel-Thompson just kicked a guy in the head. Okay, no. It looked way cooler from the camera side. He ended up jumping to get the first down. He put his body on the line, which was great. It might be a 3rd and 1, or is it it's 3rd and 1. He got us to 3rd and 1.
Now we got to get that short yardage.
Dakota Prukop. No, and it's a long one, so we have Boris Beatty out there to get the 3 points.
Why?
In this scenario, why do we have Dakota Prukop?
That's his job. Why is he not there?
Yeah, there you go. And that's another Edmonton alumni football into the end zone for high school football.
Did you say it was 3rd and 1?
It was 3rd and 1. I think it was a bit of a long one, and that's why they decided not to go for it. But you got a short yardage quarterback who could probably get that done for you. I mean, it goes to show that they're probably not confident against BC's defensive line, and I think that's a fair assessment.
I see. Yeah,
they are scared of BC's defensive line.
Dakota Prukop, I mean, he got us a short yardage touchdown in the last game against the Toronto Argonauts, right? So it's not like he lacks the skills to do that.
No.
But if we have no confidence, against the D line from the BZ, then I guess maybe at this point, so early in the game, it's a smarter idea to try to just get points on the board.
Yeah, I think that's what we went for here. I really would have liked to see a first down, but given that BC has dominated, BC shut us out twice last year. We should just be happy to have points against BC.
Very true. You know what? Little improvements here and there. So one of the questions that right now, I don't know, I have to bring it up in my TV behind because this is horrible. I'm so behind. But one of the questions that John has in regards to the IFAF is why is the NFL experience there and not the CFL, Canadian football? So because we have so many teams, they have so many teams from all over the world. Canada is really the only one that is familiar with Canadian football rules. So they have to follow the NFL rules, right?
Yeah, it's 4-down football that they're playing down there at Clark and Commonwealth. So the IFAF is definitely a 4-down event.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the other thing, too, though, is that NFL collaborates with CFL and collaborates here in Edmonton for many events. So the NFL flag initiative, the NFL flag initiative, that's a first down for BC, by the way. That was a painful, 15-yard run by Stanback. Well, it was a catch. It was a catch, and then he has the legs, like an Andrew Harris catch. It's once he gets the ball, he moves. Yeah.
I'm turning on my TV. This is.
Yeah, you might want to get your TV on.
Why is Telus TV so behind?
Probably just the internet delay. Oh, that was almost an interception once again. Marcus Lewis is number 8. Marcus Lewis returning this year with the Edmonton Elks. Did pretty good last year. Nice to see him with another year under his belt here with the Elks, because now he's a little bit more of a vet on the team, or at least knows what the process is, knows the playbook a little bit better. Shivers, it'll be interesting to see how much more Shivers can get out of the likes of Marcus Lewis, Kai Gray. Oh, come on. Ah, dang. BC first down. Niles Morgan in on the tackle. O'Neill Jr., I think I see there. So look, now you're watching the game. Up to speed.
Yes, I am.
You did it.
So what were your initial predictions for this game?
Predictions, hey? Probably like a 30-20 for the BC Lions. Right now, they are chugging the chains. They've just got another first down, I believe. Eberhardt, once again, number 19 for the BC Lions, making some big catches out there right now. But, yeah, I mean, probably like a 30-20 based on how the Edmonton Elks have improved. That's saying the Edmonton Elks can get 20 against the BC Lions, which I don't think they were able to do last year, right? So yeah. I do believe in that. It would be nice, though, if the Edmonton Elks could flip the script.
Very much so. I mean, we're doing a little bit better, as you said, than last year, for sure, with even 4 points on the board. But as long as, once again, they seem to be able to have a run here that we can't stop.
Yeah, Stanback is definitely already doing some damage to the Edmonton Elks already in the yards department, so in the rushing yards department. So, yeah, I mean, we need to see this D-line make some stops on the run. Looked like that could have been offside. Oh, yeah, looked like it could have been offside for the Edmonton Elks, number 90. Another first down for the BC Lions. Rather disappointing.
What do you think of their new home uniforms?
What, BC Lions?
Yeah.
These ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all right. I mean, they're not necessarily are these new? They declared these new?
I believe they're this year, perhaps.
Okay.
I don't know if it's this year or last year. Did we see those last year as well?
I think. Oh, but that's right, because they're gray ones were their home jerseys.
No, that was 2023. They did a revamp of the home and away. So that was last year that they introduced the black uniforms that you're seeing. I feel like they were wearing more of the orange. I don't know why.
Well, the gray, it was that gray and orange one that they were wearing, I think, as their alternate. But even then, like, they wear that quite a bit. So I don't know, is this one the alternate? It looks like a typical BC Lions jersey. I don't know what to tell you, Catherine. It looks very BC Lions. Like, yeah, it's got. I mean, I know that it's primary black, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, catch the ball. It was way too over his head. Way too over his head, but
yes.
But yeah, what were your thoughts? What were your thoughts going into this game? Like, what did you expect from the Edmonton Elks?
No. I personally don't think that we're going to win it. I didn't want to put any numbers on it though because I'm not really sure.
Right.
Every time that I thought that we were going to do something, we managed to do it a lot better. So, I mean, I'm just being optimistic as to exactly what I'm thinking for
It's fair.
Points.
Sean White, former E Sean White, has a field goal, 1:36 to go in the first quarter for the Edmonton Elks, leading 4-3 in this game. Wild. If you'd have told me that the Edmonton Elks could be leading the BC Lions in this game, even, I think I'd believe it a lot more after watching the last 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to listen to the narrative of, the Edmonton Elks just always lose, whatever, well, at some point their losing streak has to end. But this team is visibly better than it was this time last year. You can't tell me. MBT just got on a roll with the CFL, the PFF or whatever it is, the rankings. But I mean, he got on a roll. He is worth the money. It still was and is a good contract to pick up.
Well, he's shown, even just by stats alone, that he's got it.
Yeah.
Right? Just the yardage, completions too, really, even though that he's had his moments of underthrows and whatnot, maybe sticking to, shorter plays rather than doing the long throws. But you know what? He's looking more comfortable now. I gave him a couple of games. In that last game in Toronto, he looked a lot more comfortable than he did in the past, in the 2 games prior to that.
Yep.
So I think it's just a matter of making sure that the pieces around him are working properly so that he really can shine, right? That O-line, making sure that, they're doing their job so that MBT can make reads a lot better and not feel so pressured to just throw the ball and do underthrows, as you mentioned last week.
Yeah, offensive line is a huge to-do with that, right?
Yeah. And even on the defense side too, right? Making sure that they're doing their job and keeping it's just like we've said before plenty of times, is all the parts together and what you do with them. So
yep. Oh, nasty leg tackle on Kevin Brown as he was running. So once again, they try to get Kevin Brown going. The play does not work.
How many yards in that do you think? His usual 2 to 3 that he's been moving?
The usual 2 to 3. And it's not like it's necessarily all his fault or his fault even, in some of these plays. The schemes maybe are a bit stale. Maybe you need to do something a little bit different. Oh, MBT with a disgusting hit. That was a brutal hit.
That was like 3 guys just going on him. Just completely wide open.
So that was blitz. Like, they showed blitz here.
Yeah.
They showed blitz. How did nobody read that? How did nobody warn MBT that there's a blitz on the way?
Is that a formation that coaches should have seen from?
Well, when you have that many guys lining, I guess. I would say yes. Like, you have that many guys there. Now you could also be faking, right? But They were showing blitz there.
Yeah. Yep.
And that was a
Julian
brutal hit.
punts it away. Yeah, that looked like it hurt, but
Brutal hit.
Oops. Question here from John. With the private ownership group, what do you want them to implement or change?
That's a good question, John. I wouldn't necessarily say that I want them to change anything or do anything different, or like obviously there are things that need to change in order for this organization to get back to where it was. You know, you can't just necessarily make winning happen just like that. I mean, I think we all want wins to come to this organization. We all want to see wins on the turf. That's public enemy number one with this team. As far as an ownership group coming in, probably like the typical listening to fans. The organization is doing good with listening to the fans right now. But what do I want them to change? I'm not going to say the name like everybody else is right now. Don't care. We're the Edmonton Elks for now. Cheer for Edmonton football. There's a lot of stuff. I think that's the number one opinion. As per our post on X, a lot of people are saying change the name back.
Right.
We're not going to be one of those people, or at least I'm not going to be one of those people. Catherine, I mean, if that's your opinion, by all means, but I think you and I share the same opinion on that one, where sure, be nice to have the name back. A, it's never going to happen. B, if it's not that name, what are you going to change it to? Empire apparently has negative connotations. So if it's not Empire, what is it?
So over the weekend, or just a couple of days ago, I can't remember, I accidentally dropped my oil filler cap on the ground and inside, and I couldn't find it. So it didn't drop all the way through. So I had to go to Part Source, and I was wearing my double E hat and my double E shirt. And of course, the guy at Part Source, first thing that he brought up is, what about that name? Right? You talk to strangers and they will always bring it up. But he said even Eskies would have been better. Like Edmonton
Esks, yeah, or Esks. I think Esks is what my suggestion was, right? But even then it's like shortening any other swear word or racist term or whatever, right? It's like,
regardless of the name, I think that's just such a moot point, right? It's I think at this point people are bringing it up because they're stubborn, just for confrontation's sakes. We all know how some people are and act. But I think that's the reason why they're bringing it up. Really, I don't think it's even relevant anymore.
It's because the team hasn't won. Like it's the team hasn't won this season so far. 3 games in. By the way, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers are 0-3 right now. Keep in mind,
we'll have to have somebody from the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, not team, but somebody that is a fan coming to have a chat with us to see.
Ray, we could get Ray. We could get Joe, Mike, one of those boys from the Winnipeg terminal.
We understand that pain, and now we can talk about it with somebody that, with a team that is looking for, what's the word I'm looking for? The 3 wins in 5 years, dynasty. For a team that is looking for a dynasty still, and it's not looking so great at the beginning of the season. So we'll see. BC is still under drive. They're 1st and 10.
Yeah, Vernon Adams with the long bomb caught.
Yeah.
Ball was caught by Eberhard. Eberhard is damaging the Elks. So the Edmonton Elks played good for a quarter so far. This defense is extremely leaky. Like the big throws, some of them are doing good on defending. Others, like, they're leaving guys wide open. They're leaving guys. The Eberhard obviously is having himself a game already, so they're gonna have to watch him. If I'm the Edmonton Elks, make sure Eberhard is wide open.
That was no coverage.
Yeah, Javon Hollins.
Zone coverage. Like, how do you not see that, right? I mean, obviously, maybe it's different when you're right.
Well, look, he was running under his man.
You figure you'd move, with such a wide gap. To get back to the question that John had as to what we would change, my answer is seeing that it's a private ownership group.
Yeah, Alexander Holland, sorry.
We would no longer be tied to the city of Edmonton rules. Correct?
Or no, we would still be under the city of Edmonton rules. Yeah, I just want to correct Alexander Holland. Sorry, Alexander Holland is that BC Lions receiver that had that huge catch, Alexander Hollands. But anyways, Commonwealth Stadium would still be subject to all of the rules of City of Edmonton. So, I mean, unless somebody bought Commonwealth Stadium from the City of Edmonton, which I don't really see that happening.
Yeah, and they get a touchdown.
Stand back.
Saw that coming. Well, if there was, if the Edmonton Elks were to start regaining a little bit of the trust from people, seeing that we can't rely necessarily on wins just quite yet.
Yeah.
Is start changing things that people are very unhappy about. Maybe the bag policy, see if they can be a little bit more lenient on that.
Well, even with something like that, Victor Cui did try, from what I understand, right? I think he did talk to the city about it, and this is like the bag policy it's a rule that is used all across North America and North American sports. Now, at the same time that this bag policy is happening, Green Bay is looking at allowing smoking or vaping in the open air stadium.
I mean, it's not like people are not doing it anyways.
Sure. But, it is kind of funny that while, some things are very, very strict, and I will say that the bag policy, I'm not a big fan of it. I do think that families and, families with young kids in particular, like babies and toddlers, I feel for them having to, basically bring 5 clear bags to make up a diaper bag, and even then blankets and other items, whatever. Those are still something that you're going to have to throw over your shoulder or whatever. It's just way more inconvenient. I can understand where fans no longer want to come to the game. Something that I was talking about with somebody was the fact that, oh shoot, I lost my train of thought. It's a lot cheaper for somebody to sit at home and drink beer at home and not have to try to find parking, buy parking. That Davies thing, it did impact the fan base. Why? Because the Davies parking lot was a particular one that people like to travel out of to get to the game. And as soon as that was taken away, now we have a situation where accessibility to the game is restricted once again. It's not that the Edmonton Elks are restricting this access. The city of Edmonton is restricting fans from enjoying the game, from getting to the game cheaply, easily, just ease of access. It's convenience, right? The convenience factor has been taken away from going to the Edmonton Elks game. Now it's way more it's in relation to the case of beer. I get it, right? It's but I mean, I prefer the action in Commonwealth. There's nothing like cheering with your fellow fans and tailgating and everything else. And there's so many reasons to go to the game. But when you have inflation, when you have these times, right? And even you take a look.
I hate to be devil's advocate, but people will go to Rogers Place and spend hundreds of dollars in those ridiculously priced beverages for a game. However, the difference is the Oilers were winning. You bring success to the team, and people will be more willing to spend the money right now, because there are no wins, because the team is not necessarily looking the greatest, people are like, why am I going to spend money on parking? Why am I going to spend money on beer? Why am I going to spend money on all of that if I'm just going to go see them lose?
Well, and if you go to a concert, the concert doesn't end with nice, awesome, boom, huge. Dylan Mitchell.
You know, that connection, that MBT Mitchell connection is there. Like, as much as I wanted to see the Gino Lewis MBT connection, we know it's there. I think now that he's starting to get more comfortable, as I mentioned, you're seeing a lot more of those very accurate throws and very nice receptions.
I agree. Dylan Mitchell and MBT, they do have some pretty good chemistry right now, and you love to see it. You want to see it more.
Yep. Where are we at?
Oh, nice. We got some yards from Kevin Brown. There you go. Make a move. Beautiful.
You know, it's that second and like just they go short.
No, but going back to what I was saying, the problem with, like, let's say you going to a concert, you spending a bunch of money. Now with sports, it's a little bit different, right? At the concert, at the end of the night, the night doesn't turn sour. You don't get frustrated. You don't get angry. You go home or you go to the bar. You do whatever, right? And the party can still continue. With sports, you hope that the party still continues at least 50% of the time you go.
Mm-hmm.
We saw it twice last year, and we didn't see it for the seasons before. So people are sick of going to the party and going home disappointed. That's it. People want to go to the party, and they want to continue the party after because the team won. That's Edmonton sports. You take a look at what just happened with the Edmonton Oilers. That place was crazy. Rogers Place was crazy. The fan park was crazy. The moss pit was crazy. Everything was crazy for the Edmonton Oilers right down until the game 7. Mm-hmm. So Edmonton Oilers fans got to continue the party. They've made lifelong fans out of that cup run.
Very much so. Very much so.
The Edmonton Elks, when they finally get back to the Grey Cup, could be this year still. They're not doing too bad against BC. Could be better. Could be worse. But when this team makes it back to the Grey Cup, they're going to get fans from Edmonton, out of Edmontonians again. Mm-hmm. When the team starts consistently winning, right, they're going to get fans, not only back in the seats, but fans for lifetime just here living in Edmonton.
And at that point, you know, once we have that, then we can do what Matt over here says. I would love to see the tailgating at the LRT stops and then have the fans pack the train into the stadium. Once again, that is possible, but that will be possible once we start getting wins. Because right now, people are not necessarily in that state of mind of even partying all that hard before the game, unless it's at the tailgate. I mean, everybody's always welcome to come to the actual tailgate at Commonwealth. But that
182.
Yeah, I mean, in that concept of starting before, I don't think we're quite there yet. You know? Like everywhere else in the city. Start getting more wins and the city will buy into it as well.
Yeah.
Because even if the Elks don't win, but if they make it to the playoffs themselves, like that'd be cool because that would be another really cool year for Edmonton.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, I mean, major injury to Woods here, by the way, in the BC Lions, on the BC Lions, sorry. I've been saying the BC Lions an Elks game. BC number 2? BC number 2.
Yes.
Injured on the cart. But yeah, no, it would be special, even if, because like, once again, right, you want your team to at least be competitive, and then here in Edmonton, we got to see greatness. We always love to see greatness here in Edmonton. So,
champions, there's a reason why.
City of Champions, and you know what? Technically speaking, if the Edmonton Elks were to make it to the Grey Cup at least, then division champions. You know, you might be able to pull that off. So, champs of the West and champs of the East. Still could be possible this season, but the Edmonton Elks, kind of need this win against the BC Lions today. Matt Solms, by the way, shout out to Matt in the Herd chat. Yes, at this point, the Elks need a couple seasons of winning to get the casual fan to come back. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be one season by any means. If they do make it on a Grey Cup haul, it would be great for them. But you take a look at even Montreal. I guess they did recently have a sellout, but they could probably sell more if they were to obviously get a couple more wins, a couple more winning seasons like that, especially Grey Cup seasons. Take a look at what's happening with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Winnipeg Blue Bombers are selling out. Winnipeg Blue Bombers have been selling out for the last couple seasons just because of how successful they are. They're actually, some games, I would say, like, as far as percentage of capacity, they're doing a lot better than the Winnipeg Jets.
Mm-hmm.
Since when does the CFL team do better than the NHL team in town? Oh, it happens in Winnipeg.
No kidding. Oh, we have another 7-round run that is really not going anywhere. Like, why is this so predictable? Come on. I mean, that was a lovely first, initial drive. We got a 1st and 10, and then.
Well, and if there's a time to whip the ball down the field and try to stab for a touchdown, it's right now. Why wouldn't you stab for a touchdown?
When you're at the 10, we've seen it, right? Once again, I just want Gino Lewis to succeed. But that's why I keep bringing him up. But still, like, why not do one of those?
Yes!
Oh, and we get a touchdown.
Let's go! Touchdown! Elks with a flag? What's the flag?
Oh, no. We gotta see. I don't have my volume on, so we'll have to figure out.
I'm listening.
Okay, perfect. Oh, is it on the
roughing the passer? Roughing the passer.
Oh, he got smacked. That looked like MBT got smacked.
Touchdown. And it was Curly Giddens Jr., one of his favorite targets so far this season. Him and Mayala.
Mayala.
You know what we could...
Actually, I mean, I'm sorry to bring it up now, but might as well. For the injuries, we do have Hergy Mayala with a hamstring injury. He is out.
Who else is injured for this game?
Michael Bodrick, linebacker. He is out with a groin injury. Thomas Jack Cordilla, O-line. He is out with a knee injury.
T-Jack.
And that is it. Gavin Cobb is off the 6-game injured list, and Josiah Shackle is off the 1-game injured list. So we're seeing people come back from that long list, but unfortunately, Hergy Mayala is not. He doesn't seem to be playing today. I don't believe he is. He is out.
No.
Which is disappointing because he has a massive streak going on right now. 3 touchdowns in as many games.
Yeah.
So it's always sad to see when somebody has some really good momentum getting injured. Hopefully it's not it's not a big one.
Yeah, hopefully not. We do know that Jamin and Jake Taylor are both on the 6 game as well. So we do got a couple guys kind of sitting on the sidelines right now, unfortunately. But so far, the Edmonton Elks are doing all right in this game. We have the lead at 11-10. Her chat. What
we have
do?
Wasn't BC defense very good last year? They weren't so good last year.
No, they were. Matt's correct. Yeah, shout out to Matt. The Jets chant. Matt, they have been using your idea in stadium. ELKS Elks.
Yes, I do believe that was Matt. He emailed us. Was it last year? Saying that we need more chants, and now there's this wonderful chant that I can't pronounce at all. It's really hard to say, but I love it. The ELKS Elks.
So good. So good.
I love it though.
I love it. Oh, I think it's a great addition. What's cool is that like other fans have gotten into it too. There's
They were asking about it. They were asking questions. Like afterwards, I saw on some of the Facebook chats that they were like, "I heard them saying something. I heard them chant something. What is it?" So that we can join in. So Matt, your email was heard. People heard it. They understood the assignment, and they started implementing some of these things. And sure enough, it was catchy that everybody just wanted to join in. They just needed a little bit more clarification of what they were saying.
Yeah. It's getting there.
On that point, like we do have those big signs around the stadium. They should be adding the chants there,
Maybe.
like so that people know what to chant, when to chant it, when to say it. If they have a first down and that's when that particular chant in, just bring it up on the banners.
Good stop by the Edmonton Elks there. And yeah, I do think you're right. I do think that they could get a little bit more interactive with the Jumbotron and with the ring. Obviously, while this is happening, you do have replays and game happening and everything else. But even if they were to put it up on the digital banner, I think that'd be a really good idea. I like it. So
yeah, it was a good one, even if I can't say it.
We got 7:13 to go here in the second quarter of the Edmonton Elks versus at BC Lions game. BC Lions, Vernon Adams Jr. Oh, he didn't catch the ball. Vernon Adams Jr.
That was a beauty of a throw, though.
Beauty of a throw. That was wild. This guy's name, Eberhardt, almost had the ball. Edmonton Elks player got his hand in the way, I want to say.
Yeah.
Wait, what number was that got in the way? 32.
Oh, no. I think he
that was O'Neill. That was O'Neill Jr.
I think he tripped on him, and that's why it was...
Oh, that's all that happened? He had no hand in the way.
Vernon Adams Jr. is something to watch. He definitely is a very, very great quarterback with precision and an arm on him. But sometimes, unfortunately, just you just can't hold on to the ball. I mean, we've seen that happen a lot of times that players just let go of the ball. They lose their footing, something happens, and the ball goes away. So
it happens.
It happens. I mean, I'm not going to cry about it at all in this game.
Oh. Utilize Gino.
Yeah. 2nd and 10.
McLeod Bethel-Thompson has been good at distributing the ball between the receivers. I will say that Bethel-Thompson has been doing good at spreading the wealth. I just like to see, we're paying Gino Lewis so much money to catch these balls. MBT, man, walk into Gino.
And he wants it. And he's hungry. Come on.
Underthrown.
Well, what did you see? They were on him.
That's why.
He had no choice. He should have thrown it away, to be honest. But he kind of did throw it away with that underthrow. But they were on him. He had absolutely zero choice.
Yeah, let's see what happened here. This wasn't even a bit blitz. This was 4-man pressure. They used 4-man pressure. BC Lions get in and... Come on, Cordy, Boyko.
Why did he hesitate? MBT hesitated. He was about to throw, hesitated, took a step back,
because he probably saw coverage.
Yeah.
He probably saw good coverage. Jake Julian on the punt, ball caught, 35, moves up to the 46-yard line, to the 45 or the 46-yard line. BC Lions on offense.
Yeah. A question from John here. It's a good question, but it's one of those things that we just go with it. Why did they sell yellow bags with the team logo on it at the Steam store, and you can't bring that into the store, into the stadium? I mean, that's I'm not sure, John. They sell a lot of things that perhaps you're not allowed to bring, but
yeah, maybe it's actually just like an actual bag that you can use outside of the stadium. But
Matt over here in the chat, you're in trouble if you're giving up pressure with a 4-man front. Very true.
Well, see, Jake Serezna was one of those good guys in 4-man pressure. Like it's when you have 4-man pressure going against 5 guys, all 4 guys can either go within a gap or you can move your guys around in a certain way. There could be missteps. Like 4-man pressure, if you have strong enough guys, you can do that and then cover the long balls, cover the middle ground a little bit better, right, by having only 4-man. But come on, Edmonton Elks, offensive line, you got to stop that 4-man pressure in that moment. Mm-hmm. First down for the BC Lions after trying to go for a big one. It looks like they brought it up to the Elks 45 or 50.
Mm-hmm. 49.
49. So, yeah, there you go. Yep. Herd Chat, let us know what you think of this game so far. Did you expect the Edmonton Elks to be in the lead even right now in the second quarter? This is once again a competitive game.
It's an interesting game when you go into the end of the half, perhaps. I mean,
yeah.
There's still 4 minutes left for 12, but Matt over here, I miss Ford pushing it down the field. I think we all do. I think every single person that is watching every single game wonders if they're going to put Ford in at some point. I think that's just a given. I think everybody has those thoughts just because we've seen it, right? And there's the hype. There's the hype behind Ford and Trey Ford and what he can do. So I'm not going to lie. I think about it as well. You know, if we're in that situation that we're in the last quarter of the game, fourth quarter, are they going to bring him in?
No, they threw it away. Sorry.
But I'm pretty sure everybody wonders the same thing. So.
Yeah, I mean, we want to see Trey Ford out there. It's going to take a very particular situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would say that it's going to take
what is it going to take? Is it going to take going 4-0 and then coming back from the bye week in a losing streak? Is it going to take... I
would say that wouldn't be fair to MBT, who's been playing at an elite level right now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's a flag. What is the flag?
Oh, and the flag could be because the ball went out of bounds. Or is it on a player for doing something stupid?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it might be on Flintoff. We'll see. BC Lions kicker Flintoff, number 11. What's that, sorry?
Matt did expect the Elks to lead in the first half because they won't show up in the fourth quarter.
Come on, man.
You know what? Last year it used to be the third. So we knew it was a third. Everybody talked about the dreaded third quarter for many, many, many weeks. So.
Yeah, no, I would say, Javon Leake is out there for a play. He gets around 9 yards, which is great. They didn't say that he was inbounds, did they? 3-minute warning. 3-minute warning. I didn't really expect the Edmonton Elks to be leading, but I think that this is one of those games where if they win, I'm not surprised either because this team has been building to flip the script.
Mm-hmm. And it's once again, it's so frustrating. It's frustrating when you get so darn close, and it's the stupid little mistakes in between that any of those could have flipped the script of that particular game.
Yeah.
Right. So that 2-point conversion last game, if they hadn't had that, we would have won that game. Or, well, yeah.
Well, really, and it's and
without the penalties, without all that.
But even going right back to Matt's point, right? It's fourth quarters. It's those critical moments. We're gonna have to see what happens here in the fourth quarter. They may lead right up to the fourth quarter, and then it may fall apart, right? And I mean, I really hope that that's not what happens here. But so far, the Edmonton Elks, A, they're trending that way, but B, they're also trending to win this game. Mm-hmm. So hoping that they do not pull off one of those critical mistakes, hoping we don't see a critical fumble.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like Matt says, fumble in game 1, critical fumbles. Yeah. But yeah, we'll see what this penalty was all about. But it's one of those ones just absolutely, make me mad. Like, you get a foul after the whistle. Like, come on. Yeah. Why do you, it might have not done anything, but it would have been enough to perhaps even, give the other team momentum. Right? That's what you don't want to do. Any small little mistake could flip the switch and give the other team momentum. So.
No, exactly. If you are just tuning in, this is our Edmonton Elks watch party here on the Elks Call, presented by Shotgun Sports, powered by Shotgun Sports. 2nd and 2 for the Edmonton Elks. It looks like on their push, they might have only got 1 third down. Do the Edmonton Elks go for it here? Do they try to go for this first down here on the 3rd and 1?
I don't know. They might. Where are we? We're in the field.
Edmonton 47. I don't think. I don't know. I don't know if I really want to give the Lions a chance. If it's a short one, you go for it. It looks like they are indeed going for it. Dakota Prukop is out there. Tough draw against this BC defensive line. Let's see. Prukop. Got it. Prukop. He looks like he's right on the line. If they can. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think he's got it.
I can't see. Those are the hardest plays. You have to wait because it's hard to see.
First down.
They'll move those sticks.
Move those sticks. Exactly. Move those sticks.
Matt says, are you planning to do more of these watch parties, or is this because it was just planned film day?
So this watch party idea actually came to fruition from our CFL draft party that we did. We actually had quite a few people show up for the CFL draft party. We kind of talked mock draft, Javelin Leak, running down, first down, boom, down to the BC Lions 46-yard line.
That was a good run, yeah.
It was a very beautiful run. I mean, we may do this down the road in the future. Sometimes we film on Wednesdays, sometimes we film on Thursdays. The IFAF World Cup has us all out of sorts. So, I mean, we definitely couldn't have done it last night. We were watching not watching, we were filming. We were filming and shooting the game from the sidelines, the Team Canada versus Austria game yesterday at Commonwealth. Semifinals.
Semifinals. So, I mean, for away games, it wouldn't be bad, and it also depends on the date, right? Because once again, film days are during the week, and I don't think we have a lot of Thursday this year. So,
yeah, I would say if we do this, it's going to be on a Thursday. We may do it on the odd Friday. I think a Friday would be fun. We could definitely do that. Even like, let's say, even if we do it together instead of this split apart stuff, I think that would be better, Catherine. I haven't disappeared for a while in the stream, which is really, really nice. You have solved us, you tech wizard, you. But yeah, no.
Oh, what happened there?
Timeout.
Timeout.
Oh, never mind. It's a flag for time clock violation, more than likely. Yeah. Loss of down, third down. Fantastic.
Oh no. So what? Sorry, what was that flag for?
Time count.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it was rather disappointing. Okay, now that I'm done mourning that dumb penalty, it's hard to say if McLeod Bethel Thompson genuinely couldn't hear or not, or if he just got confused. I really don't know what happened there.
He needs those 40-second clocks.
Like, what is going on here?
Once again, dumb penalties that could have been avoidable. You know, like one of those. And now we're kicking it.
Well, yeah, Jake Julian punted it into.
Oh, there you go.
We didn't want to give up field position like that. Didn't want to give up field position like that. Remember, this is one of those scenarios where you'd prefer the coffin corner, prefer something rolling out of the first 5 to 10 yards, as opposed to something like this. Oh, Chris Jones is giving it to that guy because he ended up making a hit at the very end. Oh, because he pushed him down. I see.
Yeah, that was not necessary.
So who is this?
You know, I always find I find it very entertaining to see Chris Jones mad during the game.
Well, in this case, he should be. I mean, you cannot give up dumb penalties anymore. That's another 10 to 15 yards, right?
Yeah. No, we've said it even at the beginning of this episode that it is those dumb penalties that will eventually cost us a lot in the game. Right. And if you're going to be playing against an opponent that you know you may not necessarily have a chance, you don't give them any opportunities to take it over you.
No.
You do not. You're playing as clean as possible, because even one penalty could be enough for them to take the lead.
Well, that's exactly it. It's a game of inches, and at least the Edmonton Elks now are playing a game of inches rather than let's blow the game in the third quarter. Okay, because like watching that story last year was just absolutely horrible. So the Edmonton Elks have gotten themselves within firing range. This is exactly where they need to be. This is exactly where they want to be. But you got to close it out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it feels like you're going all the way back to the beginning of last season where you couldn't close it out. Mm-hmm. Right? It's you got to shake that choker's mentality. You got to shake, those emotions and those moments where you do something stupid and all of a sudden it costs the team the whole game. And I'll tell you right now as well, not one play or not one flag or not one mistake makes the entire game.
No.
You had to do many things to put yourself in. Yeah.
It's a combination of all of those, right? And it's when things just pile up. Oh, do we have an injury?
Antonio Alfano. I think he'll be good, but he's definitely got to sit out for a couple plays.
Mm-hmm.
Rather disappointing. Shout out to everybody in the herd chat today for watching this at least first half with the herd. Greatly appreciate you guys tuning in tonight and watching this game with us. This has been fun so far. This has been fun.
Do you think Chris Jones will be back next year?
Nice. Hard to say. What's this? Now there's a penalty. Chris Jones, it depends on what happens with the rest of the season. I mean, right now at 0-3, it's not looking good.
Edmonton?
Hands to the face.
Oh, my Lord.
Just brutal. Just brutal. Very, very brutal.
Keep that lead. It's like, maybe this was too easy. We're going to make it harder on ourselves. Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, that's another penalty that extended a drive.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Wide open, number 19. Once again, wide open, number 19. Edmonton Elks could not get to him. Nice. Niles Morgan might have screwed with, I want to say that was Eberhardt. Yeah, screwed with Eberhardt when he was trying to get up.
Wide open, though.
Yeah, BC Lions have the opportunity to get a field goal here. This is easy Sean White kicking range. Edmonton Elks kind of need an intercept if they want to stop points. That was good. That was really good defense from number 8.
We haven't.
Which is Marcus Lewis, by the way. Marcus Lewis. Yeah. Yeah, Kai Gray did have a good knockdown on that very similar play. Like, the defense isn't looking horrible. Like, they're doing good in the backfield for sure. It's positioning sometimes, like, if they're playing zone versus man, right?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, stop.
As Matt said, the trick is not to spiral out of control with a bad play or penalty, but that comes with confidence.
Yep.
For sure. I mean, I could see that, right? I mean, especially if you see a lot of penalties throughout the game, you can start seeing people getting more frustrated as the game goes by, and, they start making more mistakes, or they start making even more stupid penalties because they let their tempers get the best of them, or, with that foul after the whistle situation, right?
Oh, exactly.
But at the same time, yeah, it's definitely confidence and understanding that, you're in the game. You got to leave that.
Wow, so no timeouts taken. No timeouts taken. They're going to run the clock down here. Sean White with the field goal.
Oh, yeah.
And he gets it. He hooked it, but he gets it. Yeah. BC Lions 13, Edmonton Elks 12. 10 seconds to go in the first half of the game. Second quarter here. I mean, the Edmonton Elks 1st and 10 at the Edmonton 40. I don't see them doing a play with 10 seconds left. I think they're probably going to go ahead and take a knee. Chris Jones takes his headset off.
Mm-hmm. I think they will.
I believe they're going to take a knee.
And he's stressed. Chris Jones is stressed. It's his job on the line.
You haven't seen him in September. Well, yeah, you have seen him. You have seen him in September, tomato face. Yes. Oh, no, the Edmonton Elks do go for a play. It's a Kevin Brown play. He's running it. He's running it. He's running it.
Face.
No. And.
Oh.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. There's zeros on the clock. BC Lions punched the ball out. They're trying to say that he was down by contact with 1 second left. Doesn't matter. They needed to get that ball up to BC's 35, 40-yard line. So, yeah. Thoughts? Heard chat? Half time.
Chris Jones just needs a relaxing beach vacation.
Don't we all? Don't we all?
Yes, I mean, back to, I know John did have a question earlier on the chat. Could the new owners fire Chris Jones?
They could be. They could. And that's because the owners could go ahead and pay the fines, no problem, right? Right now, the funds have been used to keep the team afloat. Chris Jones technically did do the club a favor a couple of years ago by taking this head coach and GM job. By now, there have got to be more candidates to be able to do that. At the same time, there was also that operations cap. They went ahead and got rid of Elizondo and Sunderland. List goes on. But in all of that, they basically needed Chris Jones to take on the 3 roles: defensive coordinator, head coach, and GM, to save the coaching cap. So Now that we have lost some of those contracts off of the cap, you can fire Chris Jones all you want. You can pay the fine if you want to go over that the CFL coaching cap, right?
Yeah.
The new owners can kind of do whatever they want with the franchise in that sense.
Interesting. Whether they do or don't, that's a different story, and we don't know. I mean, really, I know people are going to be. I mean, if this continues, if it's another losing streak, people are going to be yelling for Chris Jones' head.
Yeah,
for sure, 100%. So I guess we'll see.
Well, yeah. I mean, at 0-6, you're going to see things get nasty if it gets to that point. We want to see a BC Lions loss tonight. We got to see the Edmonton Elks beat those Lions. Yeah, here you go. Right now, they're talking about it. Now they're talking about that guy pushing him dead. So, is there any other dead cap left? I'm trying to think. I want to say somebody else is on the hook for one more year. Scott Milanovic. His contract was dead cap. Brock Sutherland and Elizondo. I want to say Elizondo's is off. I want to say Sunderland's is off. Brock Sunderland. I want to say his is gone. So who would it be in that case? Yeah, I don't know. There might be. I honestly don't have the particulars as of right now, Matt Soms. Wish I did. But I want to say there's maybe one or two, and if not, then by next year they're clear. It's just that if you go ahead and cut Chris Jones now, you're stuck with that dead cap for the remainder of the year. The other problem too is all of his coaches are pretty loyal to him, so all of his coaches you don't know how that would look. Yeah. And having a coach come in mid-season to work with coaches that aren't his.
Yeah, I could see it. I could see it happening at the end of the season for sure. If it
end of the season is most probable.
Yeah. No, I couldn't see anything unless it's drastic. And I mean, we've seen it. We saw it last year.
Yeah,
that there was a drastic move in the team mid-year by letting go of Victor Cui.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, it's not like they're afraid of doing that in the middle of the season, really, and shaking things up. But at the same time, these are coaches, right? Yeah. There is a lot more to do with coaching than just saying that we're going to replace you today and then everything's going to be fine and dandy, right? So.
Yep. No, that's the reality you may be faced with, right? And coaching a little bit different from Victor Cui when he went. He's just the president and CEO of the organization at the time. Victor was. So when him and the club ended up parting ways. Yeah, there was a little bit of a shift, but the bigger thing was moving Jarius Jackson over to offensive coordinator, getting McAdoo out of there, moving him over to defense, and obviously from there Trey Ford blossomed a little bit more with Jay Jack's calling style. Now we're seeing Jay Jack with MBT. Things don't look bad this game. They don't necessarily look great. It's stupid penalties. It's broken O-line. Running game, it's once again still mediocre.
Same thing I hate that. That every single episode that we've had for the past 4 weeks, it's been the exact same issues.
Well, and then failure to stop the run as well, which failure to stop the run just started happening in these last couple games. The first game, they were able to stop AJ Ouellette, which was a testament to how good the Edmonton Elks were doing in that first game. Haven't been able to stop the run much since. Part of the reason for that is because of film. We have to remember that each time there's a game, that's more film for the other teams to look at, to decipher formations and play styles, play calls, XYZ, play book. So it's a giant game of reverse engineering, out there in the war rooms and the film rooms. Once they see where the weaknesses are for the Edmonton Elks, just attack on this side. Pick on this player. Do this. Do that. You're able to figure that out. That's what they've done with the Edmonton Elks. they're starting to exploit, right? Every week you have to get better. Every week you have to give the athletes on the field a better opportunity to win the game. So as much as some of this, broken O-line, is there anything that we can do for coaching on this? Is there anything is there any coaching opportunities to kind of help out that O-line, or is it a personnel issue? Do we need to get more talented guys in that spot, in those spots? Right now, like obviously Mark Cordy, he's a beast. Brett Boyko is finally back. Maybe there's some cohesion there for him that he's working through. Chemistry and cohesion. Hard to say. Is Brett Boyko maybe just shaking off some rust? For this game, I would say that the O-line has been all right. It could still be better. Kevin Brown, like the schemes.
At what point do you say that, a team is warmed up enough?
Well, I'm talking about individual players when they come back from injury, right? That's a little bit different.
No, what I mean in general, like, for the defense to kind of get their groove, and for O-line to get comfortable, for the quarterback to get comfortable. Like, is 4 games enough?
4 games, you should know what you have.
Should it be 3? Should it be 2? Right? Is there a point that you're like, okay, man, like we've had the exact same mistakes happening for the past 4 games. At what point is enough? At what point do you understand that, you've had your warm up and you should start making some changes and improvements on a lot of those little things that we've seen every single game?
Yeah, I mean, by 4 games, you should know what you have, right? That's simply put, like when you're starting game number 4, you should know what you have. At the midway point, you should know where your season's headed. And by Labor Day, you're playing your most important football.
Edmonton Cricket TV over here. Wow, John's going off the special team guy. Yeah, you did.
Yes. I want to say that is Mick Aussie over at Edmonton Cricket TV. Shout out to Mick Aussie. We watched his Australians. They ended up winning. We watched his Australians win. I think the Elks have looked good this first half. I was expecting BC to be the best team in the West this year. I think BC was a very fair assumption for best in the West. But take a look at what Saskatchewan's doing. Saskatchewan is playing some pretty crazy football. Some are saying it's a little bit overrated. They're a little bit overrated. I think people just like to say that anyways because it's Saskatchewan. I agree. Saskatchewan is overrated even as a province.
Trevor Harris is one of those guys that you're like, do I really want to see that? Do I want to?
Trevor Harris is overrated.
You don't want to say that. We don't want to say that, but we do. We do say it anyways. John over here, could they put a roof on the stadium if the city agrees to it?
No, because it's still city property.
If you don't give us a dome, at least give us real grass. And you know what? I would be more than okay with that. I have heard for multiple times that real grass is something that a lot of the players, a lot of international players that come here for either it is football or American football or soccer, that they're not okay with the fake turf.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the turf issue. It's kind of funny. When I was down there on the sidelines yesterday at Commonwealth, I was like, it would be really, really nice if we could have that natural grass back. I do know that it costs money. It might have
the maintenance, especially in a place like Edmonton, where the weather is, in a day you could have all 4 seasons, really.
Well, you can have all 4 seasons. Sorry, excuse me. You can have all 4 seasons, but here's the other thing. We have lots of dandelions. Apparently, we aren't spraying for dandelions anymore in the city.
Are we going to have a turf full of weeds?
Herbicide. It's going to have all sorts of herbicide, and then all of a sudden,
it might not be fake turf, but it will be a chemically infused turf.
Yes, football players are going to be growing 5 arms and stuff, and there's going to be lawsuits involved and everything else. No, I do agree with Matt. I do think that the city should go back to natural grass turf. Really, the only event that would be worthy would have been that World Cup 2026 in Commonwealth Stadium. We had it, unfortunately,
Wasn't a little
government. We're going to say government.
Who makes demands on FIFA? Like, come on.
It was the premier of our province, so I mean, I'm going to leave it there because this is not a political show, but it was the premier of our province at the time, which was not the mayor. So, yeah, no, it's rather disappointing we don't get that one. I think we are going to wrap up our watch party because we are at the hour and a half mark.
One last question, just because Mick Ossie did join us a little late. Why does Bethel Thompson doesn't throw Gino Lewis more in all 4 games? We touched on that. I've been a huge advocate of this point itself. We're paying Gino Lewis a lot of money to run balls, and he is not being given the chance. There's a lot of short throws, and he will get them done if they're not underthrown. But at the same time, I really don't feel like he's being utilized to the best of his abilities.
No, you're paying the guy $300,000 a year or whatever the crazy amount is. He's supposed to be your number 1 wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Now, fans are saying get Trey Ford in there, but we have a $500,000 quarterback.
Yeah.
So, why? Like, where's the same standard?
Mm-hmm. Get Gino Lewis there.
He's supposed to be like your number 1, unless. The only thing I could possibly see, and even then, this is just speculation. I think that Gino has a great relationship with the team and with everybody else. Gino Lewis, great guy. Never done me wrong. Always good with fans, XYZ, community guy, whatever. Maybe MBT and Gino Lewis just aren't on the same page right now, and maybe they're just going through the growing pains as teammates, trying to find that chemistry. Maybe not seeing eye to eye, but maybe halfway through this season, they'll end up getting it.
We'll see that shift. That's fair. I mean, I could see that. We're obviously seeing the chemistry, as we mentioned, with Mitchell. There's that chemistry. Curly Gittens Jr., I mean, they came with that chemistry. They've known each other. They know how each other plays.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it might be growing pains, but at the same time, it's that same question. I go back to that same question. Is 4 games enough for growing pains, or is now let's stop with the pains and now actually let's grow?
Yeah, but that's the beauty of it, is that this is sports. These are athletes, and sometimes a rebuild takes 5 years, sometimes a rebuild takes 10, sometimes a rebuild takes 2. This is the intricacy of the sport, right? You can't just chemistry. Like, even let's say they're trying to build it, and then let's say Gino's upset about the way MBT threw him a ball, and then he snaps, and then MBT says, oh, well, I actually threw the ball perfect. Oh, well, now, I'm not even going to try to look for you in reads or whatever. This is all hypothetical, but something like that can happen where these guys don't see exactly eye to eye. And then one day they understand each other, and one day they get it, and one day they're doing the same thing as Curly Gittens Jr. and MBT, the Dylan Mitchell connection, the Hergy Mayala connection, which it's very evident that MBT can get chemistry, right? Gino Lewis, maybe they do have chemistry, just maybe the reads aren't there. Maybe the coverage is really, really good on Gino. Right. I'm going to go ahead and take that back, though. Sure, the coverage could be good, but you spend the money on Eugene Lewis for him to catch the 50-50 balls.
Yeah. Yep.
So they're 90-10s.
And he's that good that he could.
They're 90-10s.
Yep.
They're 90-10 balls, as we say. So, yeah, guys, we're going to head her back into this game right away. We'd like to thank everybody for tuning into our first watch party. Herd Chat, let us know if you want to do this again for an away game. We might have a Thursday. We might have a Friday. Who knows? Maybe we squeeze in another one of these watch parties. But this has been a blast watching the game with you guys. So thanks a ton for tuning in, whether you're on Shotgun Sports Network, which is our YouTube, or at the Elks Herd X and Facebook, or if you are listening on Edmonton Sports Talk, TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your favorite podcast. By the way, speaking of which, we do have a programming announcement real quick before we go. We will now be found at 5 o'clock on EST on Fridays. The reason for that is because sometimes games are at around 7 or 8. Then you have your green and gold kickoff show pre and post. So, yeah, EST, new time, 5 o'clock. We're going to have that up on the social channels. Edmonton Elks look like they are ready to get back to the turf. So we are going to get back to this game from the Elks herd. My name is Scout, a.k.a. the rep.
Oh, just
Catherine?
one last thing. What comes next? We have a bye week, so we will not be seeing you. We might have an episode. I'm not too sure. I have to discuss that with Scout. I'm not sure if we will have an episode next week. But if not, we will have a home game for week 6 on Sunday, July 14th, playing against Ottawa at 5 p.m. It is Dino Days, so dress accordingly. And we will see you then.
Just no Calgary Dinos gear, okay?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, we are still undecided on the bye week. We may come back for the bye week. We may not. This has been a pretty good stretch here with the IFAF. Lots of media to get up in X, Y, Z. So, yeah, we got a lot of stuff. We definitely still got a lot of stuff to do with the IFAF. So we might be just a little bit tired, but we're definitely going to be back the following week to get you set up for that Ottawa Red Blacks home and home, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we got that Sunday game, no Calgary Dinos gear, but it is a Dino Day. And then we are, the Edmonton Elks are going to be in Ottawa the following week. So we got a nice little home and home series. Ottawa is looking all right. So I'm not going to say that they're a shoe-in to win or anything like that. But for tonight, Edmonton Elks are on the drive right now in the third quarter, 2nd and 3, 12-13 in the third quarter. So, yeah, very exciting. But yeah, everybody, we can't wait to see you again. We will definitely check you on the next episode. Unfortunately, like we said, more than likely not going to see you next week, but we will check you on the week after. And yeah, throw it in the comments after the show is done on live. Let us know if this watch party format works for you, because who knows, maybe we'll do this again once or twice before the season ends. I thought that this was a blast. So yeah, thanks. What'd you think, Kathy?
I had fun. That was fun. You know, once we got past our own growing pains at the beginning of the episode, I think, you know, we found our groove. So definitely.
Stella did get her groove back after all. But yeah, no, thanks a ton, Catherine, for doing this. And once again, thanks to everybody for tuning in. The Edmonton Elks are charging up the field, so we are going to shut this down. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, from the Elks herd, my name is Scout, a.k.a. the rep from Section X.
And I'm Catherine, a.k.a. Do Even Elks.
We are the Elks herd. This was the Elks Call Watch Party Special. Everybody go Elks. Let's go get this win.
Have a good night.
Cheers.